So we have a new Boros commander. Nelly Borca? Impulsive Accuser. It is a 4 mana cost, 1 white, 1 red and 2 generic. For a legendary creature, Human Detective 2/4. With 2 different abilities. Oh well, first of all it has vigilance, but whenever Nelly Borca Impulsive Accuser attacks, suspect target creature. And then you goad all suspected creatures. Goad means that the creatures have to attack if they're able to, but in priority they have to attack someone else. If you are the only one they can attack, the goaded creature have to attack you, but before that it will attack the opponents. And then a suspected creature gains menace and can't block. That's a good combination. So both being suspected and goaded means that we're going to have a lot of creatures basically running around and killing each other while you're sitting back and watching your opponents kill each other. Then we have her secondary ability here. Whenever 1 or more creatures an opponent controls deals combat damage to 1 or more of your opponents, you and the controller of those creatures each draw a card. This means that we're sitting there and reaping a small benefit over time, making this commander into a form of value engine as well. But we should mention that it's a problematic value engine, as this is a group hug commander. Now I have some experience playing Derani, and something I really liked about the Grixis goad commander was that you actually created a beatdown victory sometimes by simply making your opponents kill each other, while Derani basically could attack easier because opponents were forced to attack away with their potential blockers. But one more thing about goading opponents' creatures is that you can get away and just remove potential annoying creatures that could potentially attack and kill you. So if an opponent has a really big stompy creature like a 8/8 or something that could smack your face and really become a problem for you, then goad it and it's everyone else's problem, and the creature is actually beneficial sitting there for you. So even though the goad mechanic is a little bit fringe, it's actually proven to be kinda successful, and I think it is a good thing. It's a tool that you can utilize to make your opponents basically kill each other, and it actually works out better than some people think. Now when it comes to the problems how this commander is potentially group hugging your other opponents, there is a solution to that. Spirit of the Labyrinth would be a potential great card for this commander. On your opponent's turn, they're going to draw their card for turn. Then they're going to go to combat and trigger a card draw from Nelly. However, Spirit of the Labyrinth is preventing that card draw from happening. But you are still getting that card draw because you haven't drawn a card yet during this turn. We could also try to implement more effects that reap benefit whenever one of our opponents are drawing a card. For example, I would love to mention Smothering Tide here. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if they don't pay 2, you gain a treasure. This is where the color identity of this commander being Boros is a little bit sad. Because personally I would love to have the color identity of Mardu here, getting access to black, getting access to Orcish Bowmaster. And by the way, Orcish Bowmaster might be a really good card versus this commander actually, sadly. On the other hand, Orcish Bowmaster is actually good against a lot of different commanders out there. Notion Thief could be a great potential inclusion for this commander as well, except we can't because we're lacking the proper color identities for it. But there are potential upgrades that could be printed from Wizard of the Coast that could give Nelly some more tools to deal with the group hugging problem she's causing. Now when it comes to finishing the game, winning the match, there are some potential Boros combos that we could go for. Straight out the bat we have the Dual Caster Mage, Heat Shimmer and Twin Flame, making infinite dual caster mages and attacking for victory. Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker together with Felida Guardian will give you infinite cat tokens that can swing for victory as well. And you also have overlapping cards that could replace Felida Guardian, for example Village Bell Ringer. So Boros has combos, they're just not that great. But I actually think that the beatdown potential from this commander could exist. The combination of forcing your opponents to basically kill each other together with you putting some pressure onto your opponents by playing hate bears or punchy capacity creatures could eventually lead into a beatdown victory, together with card draw from this commander. On this YouTube channel I've talked a lot about the problem with aggro. Basically why aggro struggles in multiplayer free-for-all formats. There are lots of claims about the cEDH metagame, but one thing stands true and will always exist, and that is that in multiplayer free-for-all games, the metagame is always that you want your opponents to interact and spend resources dealing with another one of your opponents. You want your opponents to fight amongst themselves while you lean back and observe and just push the agenda. Basically being the silent plotter in the background. And goading like this commander does is basically doing that. So even though a lot of people might say that she's weak, she's not doing something amazing, she's Boros, goading, whatever, she's still actually playing into the actual cEDH metagame, the way that you should play multiplayer formats in free-for-all mode. So even though this commander have a few problems, she actually has a few things going for her still. And I do think she's going to be fun to pilot and execute. It is definitely a commander as I personally like, the goad mechanic, something I might try out myself. In any case, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day.